Okay, folks, Jerry here this afternoon. And listen, guys, I'm very tired. I've had a very long day. But I would like to think that I keep contributing to you guys. And if you feel like that I do that, at least let me know that. I don't care about money or getting any money or subscribers or anything out of this. I just care about my small group of people who love listening to me. And, that's the way it is. Chrissy, I know that you have sent me an email. I'm going to send it back to you too. I have had a lot of problems here in the last couple of days. Doesn't have anything to do with personal stuff. It has to do, I guess, with trucking things. And so I am very tired. But I would like to share something with you this afternoon, folks, that I think is a very important lesson. Okay? And this is going to deal with Amos 5:25 and 5:26, and also Acts 7:43. And these are going to be some verses that you guys may not necessarily understand. A lot of people read them, and they don't read them to understand them. They're just skimming over top of them, like many people's minds do. So let's take a look at it, folks, and let's see what these things mean, okay? So let's go to Amos 25:26. Have ye offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and Chion your images, the star of your God which ye made to yourselves. Now, in a similar fashion, Acts 7:43 also makes reference to this. And so here we go on that one. You also took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god Ramphan, images which ye made to worship, and I will carry you far away from Babylon. Now, what does those mean exactly, folks? And what kind of spiritual meaning do they have behind it? What I'm going to do is today I'm going to probe into this in Greek and let you see what these mean in Greek specifically and what I think spiritually they mean also, okay? All right. Now, first offhand, Moloch is a Canaanite deity, okay? And the word Mo can actually mean in Greek a habitual criminal or a perpetrator of a crime or a repeat offender. And we have seen Moloch several times be just that in the Bible. We sure have. Also, in terms of Moloch being put together, he is the king of the sacrifice of the children, and he is the king of shame. Loch literally means the king of shame, the one who is a repeat offender of the king of shame. And it actually makes reference to this royal demon, and that's what it is, a royal bloodline demon. In Kings 23, Moloch is made reference to when they burn their sons and daughters into the fire of Moloch, which he commanded not, nor did it come into his mind. And another thing I want you guys to keep in mind too right here with this, and well, you don't necessarily need to keep in mind with it, but I'm going to also show you, if you go over to the Kabbalah tree, which I will very roughly draw the Kabbalah, and you see the Kabbalah drawn out, like it typically is, which there's different formations of Kabbalah. And, each one of these yantras means something. Well, in the royal bloodline of the demons of the Kilipoth Kabbalah tree, the top yantra in this entire setup right here is Moloch. It's Moloch. And this is making reference to the royal demons or the royal deities. And these were actually the deities that King Solomon imprisoned in a bronze vessel and forced them to serve him. These royal blood lineages of kings, queens, and princes, of the demons. So Moloch was a brass bull. It was a bull god that they made a fire into, and they rode their children in and burned them to death to sacrifice them to him. Practically the devil, folks, okay? So now let's go on. Let's move on here. Now, this word Chayun, and Chayun, your images. The word Chayun is an Akkadian Kajamanu. It's an appellation of the star god Saturn. And the star god Saturn is always made reference to as Baphomet or Satan. Now, it's awful funny, and hold on one minute, that when we talked a moment ago about Ramphan and what that means, ram can mean is essentially supposed to be a male goat. Or no, excuse me. It's supposed to be a male sheep. But another word or a term for it is it can also be a male goat or be mistaken for a goat as opposed to a sheep. That's what ram means in actually ancient Hebrew, and it also means that in certain variances of Greek. And fan means to have an illusion of appearing to shine. So that could actually be a goat that is appearing to be a male sheep, and he's having the illusion of appearing to shine. Now let me show you what exactly that means here, folks. Now, if we draw a pentagram, let's say, for instance, we just have the head of a goat, which I'm not a good drawer whatsoever, don't even think I am, and he has this beard, okay? And let's say this goat has these horns, okay? Well, you know as well as I do, with these horns and with these ears that come down, that makes the five-sided pentagram. You guys have saw that before, okay? You know it, you have saw it, and that's what it is. It's you've got the blades that comes out here, you see, and then the one that comes straight down, actually. And then you've got one that comes out this way, and then you have one that comes out this way. And then, like I said, I'm not the best drawer in the world, but what I'm doing is I'm just making a hypothetical example, but you get the big picture. You have this one that always points to the bottom. And so, isn't it something that we always know what that is? We are aware of what the pentagram is. We are aware that it is of Satan. But now, isn't it awfully funny, folks, that when you take that same goat, now, let's look at this. And let's say you take that goat, and let's draw its head. And let's say, for instance, you put the horns on this goat, okay? And then all of a sudden, let's go ahead and put the beard on it, just like we did a moment ago. That's the beard. And then, we've got the ears. And you might say, well, Jerry, that looks just like what we had there a moment ago. But actually what it does is it actually changes things a little bit, because here's what it does. If this is indeed the Baphomet, okay, the Baphomet, and this is Ramphan, the star of Ramphan. It is a deceptive goat that seemingly is appearing to be the sheep, the male sheep, and it's creating an illusion to shine. Okay, remember what the definition of Ramphan is. So what do we do when we do that? We add this illusion of the light bearer on top of his head. And I know you guys have seen this before. This is the light that shines. The light bearer. This is the deceptiveness. Okay, instead of being a pentagram now, all of a sudden, here's what that turns this into. What it turns it into is it turns it in now into this. Instead of a 5-sided star, now all of a sudden, here you have this hexagram. And this is Ramphan. This is the illusion of the shine, of the deity to shine. You see, you get what I'm saying? That's the difference between the pentagram and the hexagram. And so let's take a look at the definitions of pentagram and hexagram. Let's do that. Okay, so here we go. The pentagram, this is which is forbidden to the number 5. That's what that means in Greek, that which is forbidden, numbering 5. So we understand that, and it comes out and says it. Now, the the pentagram, means big or pregnant or to give birth to or manifest, you know. So the gram is into the heart of a man, believe it or not. So you have got a situation here where that he is looking to be that which is the forbidden number 5, giving birth into the heart of a man. And really he shows himself in that. But here's where that it really gets tricky, guys, with Ramphan. And this is why the children of Israel were probably deceived, because they actually thought, without giving it a whole lot of thought, that this was God that they were worshiping. Now all of a sudden, if it becomes the hexagram, the one who shines, now all of a sudden it becomes a bewitched, a deceptive way. So now instead of being a forbidden number 5, now it is a bewitched and deceptive way to give birth into a man's heart. See, it matches up perfectly with the light bearer. It matches perfectly up with many things, guys, because when you think about it, and you think hard enough about these verses, and in today's world that we live in, you guys know as well as I do, the lukewarm church, they look at this, and it's on a certain flag, and they just believe that this right here is just absolutely, positively so godlike, when in reality they're being bewitched. And actually, the shapes that I just showed you, and what they mean in coherence with how they shape up to the Baphomet, it all makes sense, folks, if you think about it. You really better be thinking about who you're supporting and who you're worshiping, guys. In the days that we live in, it may not be what you think it is. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you it's not what you think it is. Okay? This is the star of Ramphan. And remember, this is the deceptive goat that takes the place of the male sheep. And it gives off an illusion of light. An illusion that it's good when it's bad. An illusion. And what does the hexagram mean? Hex means to bewitch and give birth into a man's heart. And that's exactly what you see in Charles Hagee's churches and stuff today. Folks, it's a spirit is what it is. It's a moving spirit that we are talking about. And it is apparent and it's obvious exactly what that spirit is. This is Ramphan, right here. And, this is the Saturnalia god. And oddly enough, this hexagram that's in the middle of this, that could even be found right on top of the Saturn star, or the Saturn planet, that you have in this solar system. And that's really, really spooky. Incidentally, folks, many think that this is the mark of the beast. You got 6 tips. You have 6 triangles. And you have 6 hexagonal sides. You take each one of these pyramids that is in the 6, They are 6 of them, and each one of them has a 60-degree angle to each corner. It's very occultic, folks. Aleister Crowley said that this was the most occultic symbol that he could put in his circles to cast his spells with, that nothing surpassed it. And yet, folks, this is flown right here. It's flown in the churches today, in the lukewarm church. And you wonder why that apostasy is coming into your churches like it is. You better be taking a good look in these days and times, folks, what you're worshiping and what it means exactly, and what the symbology means, and what the Greek and Hebrew text means in this stuff, folks. Because I'm telling you, there's a big deception going on in this nation right now. And it's something that's very profound, and it's something that many don't understand. This whole thing of their god Ramphan that they made, they worshipped it then, and if you ask me, the way that it looks with that flag, they're worshiping it now. It come off Mayorman Rothschild's house, Mayor Rothschild, right in Switzerland. When the Earl of England, the Duke of England, Lord Balfour, turned over the Balfour Agreement to the Zionist Rothschilds, folks. It is not what you think. It's not what you think at all. These ones here are not who you think they are, folks. Okay? Matter of fact, you can take old Netanyahu right there and part his hair to the side and put a little twitchy thing right up above his lip right there, and he looks an awful lot like you know who. You better be careful about what you're worshiping in the days we live in. What is it that God said right there? You worship what you do not know. And it holds true today, guys. Thank you for watching my video, and be careful. These outlets, these TV outlets, folks, these media outlets, they're all ran by these people. It's an agenda to brainwash your head and separate you from the love of Jesus Christ. Do not be deceived.